are now being joined by Madan Sabnavis, the Chief Economist at Bank of Baroda. He's joining us live from Kerala. Welcome to World Business Watch, Mr. Sabnavis.
Thank you.
First up, what do you make of the inflation trends in India as of now?
See, if you're looking at the inflation number, as you have said, it's being caused primarily in the food basket. And we've seen a double-digit inflation in food prices. The major reason is it's lying in the area of horticulture products, that is vegetables and fruits, where we have to wait for the new crop to come in before there is any easing of inflation. If you're looking at things like cereals and pulses, I think there's a lot of hope which is there because the Kharif harvest has just about begun in the month of October. And by the time we come towards December, there should be higher output coming in, which should help to temper the prices. And if you're looking at edible oils, which is the next component of the food basket, which has witnessed very high inflation, it's primarily on account of the import prices going up, partly due to the rupee depreciation, which you have alluded to.
Right, Mr. Sabnavis, what does this mean for the central bank's monetary policy decision in the short to medium term?
If you look at the Reserve Bank of India and the Monetary Policy Committee, in the last policy, they had changed the stance to neutral, meaning thereby there was a signal given to the market that in case inflation conditions improve, there was a chance of a rate cut. Now, since then, what's happened is that this particular inflation number came at 6.2%, which is much higher than the tolerance level of 6%. This also means that when the Monetary Policy Committee convenes in the early part of December, that is 4th, 5th, and 6th of December, they will actually be having the last two data points at 5.5% and 6.2%, which means that definitely there's no case of even considering a rate cut at this point of time. It can be done earliest in February in case the inflation numbers come down. And I think there is a certain advantage which is there besides the fact that the Kharif harvest will be good. We have a statistical base effect, a very high inflation in the past, which could be bringing down this number. But then, as I said, it could be the earliest point of time. Given the developments which have taken place in the US, it could be deferred even further.
My last question to you, Mr. Sabnavis, how soon will the RBI realistically be able to lower those interest rates? Because a lot of questions around that happening right now.
See, as I mentioned, February would be the earliest point of time when you look at the inflation numbers and then see in case they are hospitable or not. But add to this the fact that when Donald Trump takes over as the president in the month of January, the RBI will have to see as to what are his policies, what are the announced policies, because the indication he's given is that his policies could be leading to higher inflation, which means that the Federal Reserve will have to probably temper down their rate cuts, which they have spoken of in the dot plot. So I think that particular consideration of higher inflation in the US, competing inflation from China as they boost the economy, could lead to higher imported inflation, which could also be affecting core inflation in the domestic market. So I think February earliest, but more likely it could be deferred by another policy after taking cognizance of what the US is doing.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sabnavis, for joining us on World Business Watch with your insights.